aside from just being a man that's juggling business and the pressures of being a dad and a husband and a father and all of the challenges that go along with those responsibilities, there's also that side to where the business is already great for you. And you may be in a situation where that business that's great, like you're looking around at your life like, man, I have everything that I could ever dream of. I got the money, I got the house, I got everything, and I'm still not happy. And you don't know why. You know, then the other side to that too is just, you know, some guy that has everything. You got money, your business is doing good, you're an entrepreneur, you're building the life that you want. And then there's still things about building that business, or even just in your personal life with your marriage or your relationship or the connection with your kids, where you're like, man, like, I don't have the time that I wanted. I built this new prison and I don't know how to get out of it. And I recognize that the problem is no longer the external things. It's not my business, it's not my relationship, it's not the prison that I built, it's me. And I have to do something, or I'm gonna lose everything because of those pressures are now coming down around me where I'm not myself. I'm not doing what I know I need to be doing. You know, or maybe you're that guy that's like, look, you know what, man, I'm just not pushing anymore. Like, I stopped, like everything was going great and all of a sudden it's bottlenecked and I don't know what else to do. And I find myself with the peaks and valleys of depression, like in and out, like what am I doing? Where am I going? I'm good one day, I'm not good the next day. Like, it's an exhausting place to be. And for a lot of men like us, men that are high achievers, entrepreneurs, businessmen, we're married, we have it all, and from the outside it looks like life is great. For us, we're in our own prison, and if we don't do anything about it, everybody's gonna lose because we are holding them hostage. If that's you and this has resonated with you, man, you can do something about it, but it's not going to be something that you're just gonna, you can't just listen to this and say this was a great message and oh yeah, he's right, I'm going through that too. This needs to be something that you actually take action on and say, you know, I must do something. I need to be around people to hold me accountable. I can no longer say that this is okay. This has to change. And if you don't do that, the longer you procrastinate, everybody around you will fail because you refuse to be who you have to be for them and for yourself. By nature, like, champion is all about being conquerors. Like, and if we don't have anything to conquer, we fall back asleep. Which is where most men are. They're walking around. So while they may be in charge, while they may have great empires around them, we lose ourselves through what we were talking about earlier, through achievement and lack of fulfillment, because we aren't creating anymore. That achievement comes through fulfillment, and the fulfillment is through helping the people that's on our team. If we operate as one team and push each other past where we ever had to go, then we can set goals and timelines like nobody fucking else. But in the end, we're the epitome of how this world moves. Everything you see is because somebody wouldn't sit still long enough to accept what was in front of them. Our job is just a simple thing, is to hold the line for everybody, like to set the tone, to set the rules, because who else is gonna do it? Like, the problem with most men is that they don't have anybody to push them to find that new gear, and if they can't find it, everyone fucking fails. I mean, that's...
I was successful with this, or I was not successful because it's judgmental, according to you.
I feel like I was given a why. You know, like I had teammates that we had to work challenges together. It wasn't just about me. It wasn't just about how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking.
And you're like, if it doesn't make sense in this aspect, how does it make sense here?
So I think that if, I think this one aspect, if I just didn't check out and deal with all the issues when it comes up, I think relationship is the hardest thing for me. Yeah, it's easy for me to make money. Relationships is tough, and staying in the moment when the relationships get hard, and
whatever it is, when you're in the zone, you're in the zone. And I noticed today when I was in the zone, you know, we were working together, we were unstoppable. And and we had the flow sometimes. It was really beautiful at times because it was like we were in the zone.
Our foundations lay a strong foundation so we can wake up and be the person that we were today. When it all stuff is our foundations, at least for me, to want to build an organization of men that are all pushing and wanting to be better. So the real side and all the other stuff, the standards, that's our personal power. That's how we find our groove to continue on and going and tell ourselves the truth, move away from the lies that we would have had about this one area. So I made a lot of money in business, but I'm fat. Or I'm working out all the fucking time and I'm great and I'm spiritual, but I spend all the time on Wednesdays mopping in front of the church and I don't really see my family and everything. And now I can barely provide for them. And I thought, it doesn't work. There are two types of guys that apply to join Champion. There's one guy who is a badass in his business, dominates the game, and then he goes home, and then he's a pussycat at home. And he's wondering why he's losing his family. He can't figure out how to save his marriage or how to not be with his kids. And he really just wants to feel worthy, feel appreciated, feel loved. And then there's another type of guy who dominates the game in business. Like he's a total badass, but then when he gets home, he also dominates too hard at home. So he pushes everybody away from it and he doesn't understand why he's losing his family. And it's because he's pushing too hard. He doesn't know how to shut that off. Because let's face it, as men, we don't know. When it all boils down to it, most of the guys that come in Champion, that's the places where they are. And ultimately what we want is we want to actually win it all. We want to know how to have the marriage that we want, the connection with our wife, the sexual connection, and to feel appreciated, loved, and really cared about as a man. And then also to be able to connect with our kids and not just feel like we're just in their space, but to really have a true relationship with them. As well as, while we're doing those things, being able to grow the business that we want and be able to continue to expand, because really that's what we're built to do. We're champion entrepreneurs. We want to go out there and dominate our space, but not sacrifice ourselves and the other things just to get to the top, because that's the true narrative. That's what they tell us is on the other side of the fence for us if we are going to succeed. So in the conversation of being able to be men that are out there being champions for our families, champion for our business and our clients and all the people that we're called to serve, there's the conversation of winning it all and how do we do that? And that's what it is, the principles that we follow, the methodology that we subscribe to in this brotherhood called Champion, and why we invite people to come and have this Champion experience with us. You see, during the experience that you'll have here with us, when you apply, when you get accepted and you get invited on board to join us, man, we'll share with you the principles that we follow that's allowed myself to rebuild my failed marriage, rebuild my failed business, and to be able to really connect and have the life that I want without feeling unworthy and unappreciated and unloved, without sacrificing who I am as a man. And I share that with the guys there, and they've been able to implement this too. And some of these guys have went back in and fought for their families when they were losing their families. And I'll be honest, some of these guys actually lost their families and went through divorce because they were so far gone, but it was the best thing for them, their wife, their kids. And now they're so much happier and they can serve the purpose and the calling that they believed they were called to serve, that before they just felt stuck and trapped and they didn't have any way out. You see, as a man, when you're stuck and you're trapped, you hold everybody else hostage until you find the way to be who you have to be, to make the choices that you have to, because when you are stuck, everyone fails. They are stuck, held hostage in the same prison that you're holding yourself in because you refuse to be who you have to be or to make the decisions that you have to make because they're hard. Well, let me tell you, man, everything you do on this side of the fence, being the man that you have to be to save your family, to save your business, to be able to take shit to the next level, all of that stuff is hard. And if you're fighting alone, it even harder. It even gets harder, period. I mean, I'm not even going to sugarcoat that for you. So inviting you to have this Champion experience with us here in our headquarters on the island of Oahu in Hawaii is serious for me. It's not just some crazy ass marketing thing. It's the things that I had to do to rebuild myself and rebuild my marriage, my business. Sharing it with you is kind of my calling. It's my purpose, because 90% of my problem was just that. I had forgotten who I was. And because I'd forgotten who I was and not making the decisions that I needed to make to help us, to help me, I was holding everybody hostage until those decisions were made, until I found a way to find myself and to be who I had to be to get unstuck. And when I did that, I opened the door for my life to change so I can start winning it all. My marriage changed with my wife, Sharon, and I. My kids, Max, Leo, Marquise, and all my older kids too, we had a better relationship, the relationship I didn't think they were gonna have. And then my business took off. I made more money than I had ever made. I had more business growth than I ever thought that I was gonna. And when I really look back, it wasn't because of anything external that was gonna save me. It was because I started being who I had to be. I decided to fight for the life that I wanted and to stop lying about where I was, and to bring everybody forward with that. And to take the lead and lead from the front. And that's really what everybody else was waiting for me to do. And to stop relying on somebody else or something else to save me. So the principles that we live by, that we call these champion standards, has become the way of life. And that way of life has allowed us to start winning it all. Winning it all in our business, winning it all in our marriage, winning it all in our bodies, winning it all in our spiritual being and our purpose for the direction that we want to go as men. And I want to invite you into that. So here's how this works. You're going to fill out an application. And like I said, the quickest way to fuck up that application is for you to get on that application and do the opposite of what we do here in Champion, and that's to hold the standard. And that is to stop lying and to start telling the truth about where you are and what it is that you want. When you do that, you and I can have a real conversation about those things, so I can find out whether I can help you, whether joining Champion and attending this live experience with us and the other brothers that are going to be coming is truly going to be a fit for you. If it is, I'll invite you on board to make the investment, and you will come and we'll get you started right away. Start working so you can start saving your life, saving your family, and the things that are important to you. If it's not a fit, we'll know right away. I will let you know that it's not a fit, or you can let me know that it's not a fit. Either way, we'll part, but we'll know where we're headed. You'll know and I'll know. And that's all we really expect from each other, right? So if that's something that you are ready to be a part of, you're tired of just thinking about it, you're more than interested in being a part and changing your life and how shit's going for you, and you're tired of holding your family and your business hostage, and you want to start taking things to the next level, fill out the application there. We'll set up some time to talk. There's also some free training for you in this vault that I put together for you, so you can start taking a look at where you are, why you're where you're at, and you can start the process even before you join us. That's my gift to you. Our gift from Champion, so you can start succeeding in your life. But now it starts with this. The first step is filling out the application. And that's what I'm expecting you to do now. If that's a fit for you, hit that button, go there. If it's not, totally get it. At least we've had this conversation, so you know. All right, man. Looking forward to talking to you soon.